Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Endeavor Maverick. This board features Endeavor's hover camber, which is rocker in the nose, then camber throughout the rest of this board. Basically directional cam rocker. So you're going to get all that load, pop, snap, and drive of traditional camber, but you're going to get ease of entry in and out of turns, as well as more optimal powder float from that rocker in the nose. This board is available in 153, 156, 159, 160 wide, 162, and 165. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a day that had overcast skies with high visibility. There was about 6 to 10 inches of fresh pow depending on where you went. You had some chop chunder, that midday powder panic that makes for lumpy pow when you're cutting across people's tracks. There's a little bit of wind, and the groomers were pretty solid, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. The flex of this board comes in around the middle of the road, and it's slightly directional, so you have a bit more give in the nose, mainly accentuated due to that rocker, and then it progressively stiffens back up to the tail. The torsional flex is highly abundant. You can really ankle steer this board and not have to worry about it. When it comes to stability, for the most part, it's moderately stable. Like, it'll satiate most people's needs for it, especially if you're in fresh pow. Unless you hit some really frozen death chunks underneath, then you're gonna get jarred. On a groomer, you get a little bit of flap in the nose, and that slightly resonates back underfoot. You will feel that under the front foot as well. Like I said, it's moderately stable. It's not the most, it's not the worst. It just kind of gets the job done. The snap on this board is solid. When you load up that camber section, especially because it's set back, you're gonna get more power out of that back foot. When you roll up on that tail, it springs. This is a board for launch and powder side hits, boosting powder pillows. You don't have to worry about it. That response is solid. It's gonna get you up in the air. You don't have to worry about it. There's a little thumbs up down there you need to click. Why? Because I said so. And while you're down there, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. There are 2 ways to butter on this board. In fresh snow, you can basically roll up on the nose and do like a little roll 360 in the pow and not have to worry about it. With the tail, high speed pow wheelies, just lean back and sit on that. But if you're trying the same thing on a groomer, it takes more effort. You have to get your weight out over that rocker zone in the nose, really push into it, or you need to sit out on the tail to get those same wheelies. So once you understand that it takes more energy on a groomer and less in pow, which is how you ideally want it, you're not gonna have a problem with it. This board has a smooth and fluid edge-to-edge power transmission with it. That helps with the short, tight, quick carves. You can really ankle steer them. When you go into medium mellow carves, it really guides it from outside the front foot. You basically just throw your weight forward and it grips, but then you drive it from inside the front foot back through the tail. And when you're in those medium carves, if you really want to go for a deep, hard, aggressive carve, you disengage the front, kick your knee into the center of the camber, push it down, and drive it off the tail. This board will Euro carve no problem if you absolutely needed to. It's one of those pow boards that's versatile enough to ride a groomer and you don't have to worry about it. Rider in mind, this deck is for the resort powder cruiser, someone that wants a more traditional shaped board that can handle a groomer but isn't gonna suck when they get into powder. Something that's just pretty versatile and directional. Like what we're doing over here? Want to support us further? Swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. I've ridden this board before when it was in the line, then it left the line, and now it's come back. It's got a little bit of a different flex pattern to it, but essentially it's a more traditional shaped Archetype, which is their Swallowtail. I love that board. I've owned a few of them. This just has a little bit more power in the tail. It's got good snap, it's solid edge hold. It's just a good all-around resort powder deck for the average rider. Comparable boards: the Rossignol Slashimi, the Salomon 6-stick, the Yes Pick Your Line Uninc. Binding recommendations: the Salmon Highlander, the Jones Mercury, the Rome Katana. This has been my review of the Endeavor Maverick. If you're still not sure this is the powder board for you, why don't you go check out a review of the Endeavor Archetype? Maybe you need a Swallowtail in your life.